Okay, my lovelies, seeing as I did not have enough time on the last video to finish, I only had a couple minutes left of video to film, so I decided to make a part 2. This will be the 9 tips for coping with grief and sobriety. Losing someone you love dearly can be one of the most difficult challenges that humans can go through. If you're on a journey of recovery and committed to a life of sobriety, processing grief comes with a mountain of challenges. This list has helpful tips for coping with grief and recovery. Coping in sobriety is a challenge all on its own. You have to learn how to live and maintain a completely new way of life. Recovery is an ongoing journey, so what happens when a curveball is thrown in your path, such as losing a loved one? Coping with loss without jeopardizing your sobriety is completely achievable, and here are 9 tips to help you along the way. Give yourself time to grieve. The weight of your loss cannot be measured against anyone else's. Your grief is your own, but this doesn't mean you can't turn to others for help. What it does mean is that you are allowed to take your time to grieve and accept your feelings. One of the best ways of moving on from grief is to take in what you are feeling and feel it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Then move on. Yes, this process takes time and patience. But be kind to yourself, and you will notice your grief starting to dissipate over time. Be consistent with your treatment program, because the treatment program is always going to work if you work it. As a recovering addict, your commitment to your treatment program is vital during a time of grief. While you may not feel like sharing or talking, it's important to be consistent with attending meetings. Visiting your recovery therapist during this time could also help. Going to meetings offers you a support network many other people don't have. It will help to change your focus, open up your mind, and reconnect with your treatment principles. Remember that these principles can be of service to you as you process your loss. Surround yourself with positive people and other positivity. When processing a loss, you may want to completely isolate yourself and hide from the rest of the world. While this is understandable and even acceptable in the beginning stages of grief, it is not a healthy long-term plan. It is super important to get out and connect with positive people. Whether it's a short coffee date, a walk in the sunshine, or a long chat in the park, seek out positive, supportive, understanding friends and family during this time. It will help you to gain some much-needed perspective and clarity. And again, the company will help boost your dopamine levels, your happy levels. Avoid triggering situations. The truth of the matter is that you are extra vulnerable after the loss of a loved one, and most especially if you are a recovering addict. With this in mind, it's important to remove yourself from other types of situations that could trigger addictive behaviors. In short, now is not the best time to test out your sobriety. Instead, surround yourself with positive influences, positive people, and positive situations. Positivity is what you want. Avoid things if they make you feel any kind of uncomfortable, unhappy, or extra vulnerable. Now is the time to put your foot down and your own needs first. Stick to healthy eating and sleeping habits. Loss of appetite during a period of grief is extremely common. You're upset. Your body is upset. Your body feels you're upset. So when grieving, you can totally just lose interest in food completely. And this may not only relate to food, but also a loss of appetite for your own life. You may lose all sense of motivation and slip into poor eating and sleeping habits, while avoiding exercise or your favorite hobbies. The reality is that this only compounds your chances of relapse. Try to stick to a healthy regime that involves whole foods, plenty of sleep, outdoor activities, and a little bit of exercise, whatever you can handle. All of these factors combined will help you to boost your mental state. If you need help or motivation, ask your family or friends to coordinate their meal times with yours, or enlist a friend to work out with you. Ask for help when you need it. Now is not the time to shy away from a little extra support when it's needed. Don't be afraid to ask for help, even if it's for simple things like grocery shopping. A little bit of help goes a long way. Try and be as specific as possible when asking for help too. Ultimately, this will ensure your needs are being met. And when the time is right, make sure you express your gratitude to those who were there for you when you needed it the most. Just let them know, hey, thank you, I really appreciate you being there for me when I needed it. And that goes a long way, being grateful to someone for just being there. Volunteer your time. It goes again with helping others can make you feel better too. If you're feeling a little fed up with yourself and want to think about helping others for a little while, then volunteering your time is a great way to do this. It's also a fantastic way of boosting your own sense of self-worth, switching you into a more positive mindset. Because you're helping others, that boosts your self-worth. You look at yourself better because you're helping others. Look for volunteer opportunities at your local church. Ask friends and family if they need help with anything. Giving back adds value to your life, which in turn can help you manage your grief better. Challenge yourself with a new goal. Another great way to inject some positivity into your life is by setting yourself a new goal. Map out a path on how you'll achieve it and work at it a little bit every day. Because it doesn't happen in a minute. It doesn't happen with the snap of a finger. It happens minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. It's important to choose a goal that really resounds with who you are and something that's achievable in a relatively short space of time. You want short-term goals, not long-term, because short-term can not only help you move along quicker, but it takes the risk of relapse way down. Go for something you can achieve in less than 60 days. This may be something small like meditating every day for 20 minutes, achieving a certain yoga pose, or running 5 miles, etc. And our last tip, get creative. Get your creative juices flowing and your emotions by picking up a new hobby, but make sure it's something that allows for creativity. It may sound a little cliche, but creative expression is a brilliant means of expressing emotion without having to speak. This could include simple tasks such as journal writing, painting, drawing, cooking, or gardening. As long as you're allowed to express your creativity in these hobbies, then pick it up, because that can make you feel better about yourself too. You made sense, like gardening. If you successfully garden, then you created this little patch of earth that things are growing out of, and that can help you a lot. Again, grief and loss is something that everyone has felt at some point in their lives. It is a common thing, it is a normal thing to grieve a loss of a loved one, and even as an addict, to grieve your lifestyle. If you find yourself struggling to move past anger or denial or bargaining, please seek help. Please find someone, whether it be a counselor, a therapist, a friend, a family member. Just find someone who you know will understand what you're going through and talk to them. Even if you don't want to, talk to them. Go get coffee, go on a walk. Just make sure that you have someone out there who understands how you're feeling and who can help you continue with your treatment program so that you do not relapse. Because grief and loss can cause an addict to go back to that lifestyle if unchecked. Please make sure, if you're struggling, find help. Because you are important, you matter, and you're worthy. And if you find yourself relapsing, please don't continue, don't return to that lifestyle, because you do not have to. Relapsing does not mean you have to return to that lifestyle. When you fall, you get back up, dust yourself off, and you start again. But please do not continue, because ultimately that is the goal you are trying to reach, is not continuing down that path. So that was the grief and loss segment, you guys. I really hope it helps someone get through their grief the way I have been able to get through my grief, the way others have been able to get through their grief. But please don't let anyone tell you that you're grieving too long or too little, or that you shouldn't grieve at all. Feel it, acknowledge it, and move on. I love you guys, and I hope this helps someone, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, wherever you guys are seeing this. And I will see you in segment 7, which will be about holidays and recovery, which is very important to me because holidays during recovery are tenuous at best. So, I will see you in segment 7, my lovelies. Bye.